The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek to find.
Fucking hell, that's good.
Wow.
2 years ago, we were just two numpties recruiting in a big global agency. And from doing those reps every single day, choosing the hard thing time and time again, this is the position it's put ourselves in. We're not saying we've made it. We're not at the top of the mountain. I just don't see why you wouldn't at least try.
92% of people don't achieve their goals due to the avoidance of the first initial short-term discomfort.
That's frightening, isn't it? They asked to sit down with us and said, boys, you've grown astronomically. How have you been doing it? And obviously one thing that we spoke heavily about is just the marketing, the branding, putting the word out there. So we sat down, we spoke about how we did it. Off the back of that, they made their entire team become extremely active on LinkedIn. I spoke to the CEO yesterday and they shared that this year they've had 20% quarter-on-quarter growth. This quarter, they're actually on track for 30 to 35% growth. If you do not feel severe imposter syndrome every 12 months, then you're not moving forward.
Hello and welcome back to yet another episode of the Two Blokes, One Business podcast with me, Adam Powell, and Harvey bloody Rivers.
Fucking hell, the boys are back. It's been a while this, mate, hasn't it?
Well, no one would know because we're professional podcasters. We schedule them up so they roll out. So we've been away.
We have, and that is item number one on the catch-up. In the run-up to this trip, I was busting to discuss it every week. Ads was very reserved. He was not reserved on the trip, I add, but the bucks is over.
So to paint a picture, we had a 12-man squadron head over to the States for 4 nights in Nashville, 3 nights in Vegas for my bucks.
And it was heavy.
It was heavy.
Yeah. So everything we've discussed on this podcast up till now about like elite lifestyle, going to the gym, not drinking, we're actually fucking liars.
Well, we were. Well, we've turned over a new leaf. So now,
What, we're now just pissheads?
So now the other leaf again. So now we're back on it.
Yeah.
Now we can preach again.
360 the leaf.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
But I guess just to wrap the bucks up, incredible time. Nashville, if you haven't been there, get there. Incredible place.
Yeah. PJ O'Brien's, great bar. I'm actually quite sad it's over, to be honest, mate. Like when you're there and it's like when you're there, 12 lads, like it's awesome. Like it's full on. But you're obviously drinking heavily, late nights, and there are times you feel like shit, and you're like, oh God, I've got another 4 nights of this. But I think now, it seems that every day we've been back, you kind of start to appreciate it even more. And it was, I think, safe to say, the trip of a lifetime, wasn't
100%.
it?
My biggest worry, right, is that I really settled in to the life over there.
You made it look easy. Yeah.
I was like waking up going, oh yeah, we'll just crack a beer. How good's this? Like, and having all this serious life and responsibilities, and business and everything else just felt like a million miles away. So I'd wake up, crack a beer. And my thing was, as long as you can get yourself to bed at night and wake up in bed in the morning, you've done half the battle, right?
Yeah, because if you got yourself to bed at night and you didn't wake up in bed in the morning, I'd be worried. But yeah, there were times where I was like, maybe Ads will take his foot off the gas today and the beer would open. I'm like, oh no, he's going again.
Well, I think that's what we're talking about today, right? But we'll get into that.
Yeah, but I think now we've got to honour the wedding
100%.
Because you've got an amazing, amazing woman that she's going to be walking down the aisle to you. Mm-hmm. So now there'll be plenty of wedding chat because I'm fucking excited for that.
It's going to be a cracker. So we're up to Rosewood Estate in Beachmont. Think like hinterland, top of the hill. You look to your left, you got the ocean one way. You look to your right, you got the Hinds Dam and hinterland. What will kill me or kill us is wind and rain.
Shit.
But we'll be right.
Mate, fortune favours the brave.
That's one of my quotes I was going to say.
Oh, shit. I've done it again. Catch up number 2. We've hired an EA.
How good's this?
Amazing. Like, honestly, day 1 was yesterday and it's changed our life.
Harvey looked like Pep Guardiola for any of my football fans out there with a whiteboard up doing tactics.
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it? We had like a 8-hour whiteboard sesh, and at the end of it, we all sat down and we were like, fuck, all of our brains are absolutely fried.
I think we were more fried than Jess was, mate, to be honest. She was like, yeah, sweet, what's next? And we were like, oh, I don't know. But she'll be a game changer. I think the inspiration came from Dan Martell's Buy Back Your Time, right? He talks about freeing up your time to do more of the green, high-value tasks, the things that actually make the business money, things you enjoy, and trying to get rid of some of the lower value tasks that drain your energy as well. And you split your week up, you look at what you're doing, what you could be doing, Jess coming in is going to be an absolute game changer for the business, but I think even for us, as business owners, right? Like I think we're pretty vocal where we've been absolute pedal to the metal for 2 years straight, and we've got this far. I mean, it's been good, but I couldn't imagine doing this for another 2 years at the speed we have and how things just get bigger as well.
It's not sustainable. We need help.
I also had a nice quiff from the start of the business.
There it is. So I was like, bold counter number 1. Ding. We had Matt Schreimer. We had Matt Schreimer on the pod weeks ago now, and he really pushed it in how important it was for us to do that. And we've took his advice, and I think if you think we've been going hard already, like what I'm excited about is we've done this well being fairly reactive with work in the recruitment world on the Goldie. So now we're going to have time to actually be proactive and go and really chase the sort of companies and the sorts of work we want. I wouldn't want to be a Harwell competitor over the next 12 months. Let's put it that way.
Mate, bang on. It's going to be fun. I think that's what I'm most looking forward to.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll grow and hopefully money comes through the door and stuff, but it's going to be fun. It's getting back to the stuff that you really enjoy about the job, which is out there, taking clients out, pitching, this is why you should work with us, getting their trust, delivering on what you said you're going to deliver on, getting a pat on the back, and then going again.
You love a pat on the back, eh?
And then last one. This is incredible. Didn't think we'd ever see the day. Oh, he's got the house.
Oh, fuck me. Well, I didn't actually get the house.
True.
I was in Vegas. Britt, she got the job done, mate.
Incredible.
House, we obviously put the search on hold for a couple of months because we had lovely little Harper came into the world and life got busy. We restarted the search, and the first house that came up, we saw it on real estate and we're like, that's the one. We managed to get through an open home before we went to America. She went back when we were in Nashville with her sister for another look, and then the auction was when we were in America. Now picture this, we're in the Encore beach club. We've got like a booth at night because obviously the time difference, and we're hooking in again, as we've just discussed.
100%.
And I'm texting Britt, and she's giving me live updates of the auction, and then all of a sudden it's settled and we're like, fucking get in there. I run into the booth, lads, we've done it, and we've got the house.
Incredible. Such a cool place as well. Like you're going to turn it into a bit of a Harvey wellness centre down the bottom, aren't you?
Yeah, it's in Currumbin Waters, but it's kind of sorted towards the back in like a bit of a bushy, foresty area. So it's on a steep block. There's loads of trees everywhere. You can't really see the neighbours. Pool is on like a different level with a massive deck. So we're going to get like a sauna and stuff like that. Just go full on zen.
Yeah, we bloody go.
Fucking get in.
Well, let's get stuck in. I want to kick us off.
Was that not the episode?
That's part one. I want to kick us off with a quote.
Oh, here we
For
go.
old time's sake. The cave.
Hang on. For old time's sake. That's good. Was that the quote?
No, I got another one.
Okay.
The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek to find.
Fucking hell. That's good.
Wow.
Who said that one, mate?
That was Joseph Campbell.
Yeah. What does he do?
He has fucking good quotes, is what he does.
He's just a quote writer.
What a job that is.
Big JC.
But unpack that, Harves. What are we talking about today with that context?
Yeah, today we're all about leaning into the uncomfortable. It's something that we've really tried to do since day one of Harwell, or even before, right? We didn't have loads of experience, even in recruitment. We had good experience in recruitment, but not loads. And we had zero experience in business. And we really two-footed the uncomfortable by going, let's quit our secure jobs where we've got a nice salary and take the risk and throw all that out the window and try and do it for ourselves. So we're advocates of this. And I think it's kind of followed on into the way we've been in Harwell and everything we've done, which we'll unpack in a lot more detail from day one. And the reason we think it's so important to talk about is because so far it's working. In our personal lives, in the business life, every time we've got comfortable or gone, let's try something new. And we've done it and we've bought into it, launched ourselves in, it's worked. And there's only been positive benefits from it. If there was ever a negative, it's a lesson learned, right? And
I think that's the mindset. Like I'm thinking that there's definitely things we've done and tried that have flopped. Like the fucking 50k giveaway. I honestly thought that was going to take us to the bloody moon. And you know what? It was good fun. Like, we got a good bit of content out of it.
Yeah.
I think the perception, and this is something that Jess said yesterday, actually, people probably don't realise how much it flopped, because how would they? You know what I mean? Like they're not there fucking looking at the entrance or whatever and seeing two people on there.
Yeah. And you know what? As much as it did flop, there wasn't many applications. It depends. Okay, if we're looking at people, we did that to try and generate leads and a chance to work with a new business that might not have a budget for recruitment, but we can really show them and articulate the value and what we could do for them. But ultimately, we felt we were going to generate hundreds of leads of people that were effectively telling us we can service their business. Wow, what a great idea. It fell on its face. I think there was 10 applications, 8 of them we already worked with. But one thing it did do was put our name and our brand out there again.
And it generated a bit of noise.
It did.
Which is exactly what we were trying to do. Yes, with a bit of back end, follow through. Which, to be fair, we did. Hanson Yunkin won it. Great business. So that was obviously a positive to it as well, which is really positive. And Steve Guerin, shout out to him. Got out by himself now. Legend of a bloke. But again, no one even remembers it. I hardly remember it myself. So let alone the people who, 1, didn't give the shit in the first place, 2, didn't know it didn't go well. It only just comes down to your ego, right? Which I think some days we're really good at going, nah, it doesn't matter, like, get on with it. Other days, maybe me in particular, I'm, failed there, that hurts a little bit. And you just got to give your head a wobble and get out of it, I think. Yeah,
absolutely. Couldn't agree more. But mate, I'm going to start us off with a quote that's kind of...
Not another one.
Yeah, not another one. It was kind of, I feel, the underlying mission of why we always lean into the uncomfortable and kind of what we discussed around Harwell. And it's our friend Jimmy Carr. Again.
Mate, you're obsessed with him.
Yeah, Jimmy's a good bloke. But he said, if you do not feel severe imposter syndrome every 12 months, then you're not moving forward. And that's something, early on in Harwell, we had severe imposter syndrome. When we started this podcast, we had severe imposter syndrome. When we were asked to do speaking gigs and stuff like that, we had severe imposter syndrome. But it's just reframing that mindset of, if we don't feel like this, we're actually just stagnant. And if you're stagnant, you're going backwards. You can have that for free.
Cheers, Jimbo. we should get him on.
Oh, mate, could you imagine
class? That'd be good.
8-hour podcast episode. Jimbo, one more question.
I think the discomfort, right, it gets more comfortable the more you do it, which, going back to kind of the very start of what is it, right? It's basically your brain telling you, this is scary. I don't feel safe. Don't do this, because all I want to do is keep you alive. I don't want you to risk our life, essentially, right? From that kind of primitive brain. Is that the one?
I think so.
I'm thinking like...
Your podcast, mate.
Yeah.
You can be whatever you
primitive
want.
brain, back in the caveman days, right? That's all we're here for. Stay alive, have kids.
Yeah.
Something like that. So what you've got to kind of train yourself to do is recognize it and understand the feeling. Don't let it kind of consume you as well. And probably the easiest way to do that, and this is where we're very lucky, is talking it out and then really looking at, okay, what are the logical options here? You either don't do the thing because you're scared of it, or you do it and it doesn't go well, and then you might learn a few things, or you do it and it does go well. That's the only 3 real options you've got, right? I think when you're talking it out, you can probably hear the fear in your brain coming out in your words, and then you really notice probably how silly you sound.
Yeah, I think that's it. Like, it's a constant battle, and that's why kind of, for the first topic, we are digging into what discomfort really means. And your brain is in a constant state of trying to keep you safe. As you said, your primitive brain, that's how it's wired. So how hard is it? It's like swimming upstream every single day. Imagine swimming upstream every single day, where you're trying to step into discomfort, where ultimately you find most of your growth. But there's a constant thing. The actual thing that controls your body, your breathing, your heart, everything is telling you not to do it. That's really fucking hard. You know how hard it is when you have one business idea and your friends and family go, nah, that's stupid. Like, remember Benny Handler? Goes to America, meets a fella, buys agencies. Massive in America. No one really knows what they do in Australia. We should do that in Australia. And he came back over here and people are like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, all the sellers' agents would have been going, mate, you're crazy. No one's ever going to pay you to do that. Imagine how hard it is, but he just kept overriding his brain to go, nah, this is going to work. And look at the guy today.
Flying.
Imagine if he didn't fucking really step into the discomfort.
It'd be interesting to see where those people are, the naysayers, let's call them, today, compared to where Benny is. Do you know what I mean? There's always the people who would never take that risk themselves and don't want other people to take the risk, because it really highlights the fact that they're not action takers.
Yeah, because like you said, what's the worst that happens, right? We started doing, and we're going to share a lot about our kind of story with discomfort. One of the big things at the start of Harwell, we started doing video content. And we filmed the first few videos and they took hundreds of takes. You felt awkward. We're like, really? Like, what's the worst that can happen? Someone looks at it and goes, oh my God, Harv has just made himself look like a complete and utter tool. But by the next day, they'll probably forget about it. And most people would scroll past it and don't notice it. Like, that was the worst thing that could happen. Really, it's probably one of the main reasons our business where it is today.
I don't think that's the worst thing. I think the worst thing is they now know who Harvey Rivers is from Harwell. Yes, they might think he's a bit of a numpty and doing stupid videos, but they know who you are. So the next time when you get a little bit better at the video and they go, oh, there's that guy again. Shit, that video is actually decent. And the next time and the next time, I think the reason the videos are so powerful is, well, there's two main reasons. One is because it's so scary. So not as many people do it. I think now, even in the 2 years since we've started doing it, people are being a lot braver. There's a lot more video content out, which is awesome. I think the second part is people get to know the way you talk, your body language, the authenticity that you have, the way you kind of think about whatever problem it is you're trying to solve, right? There's, rather than a text or a photo and all that stuff where there's so much unknown around it, from a video, you can learn so much about the person who you're potentially going to be working with. And that's just gold, absolute gold.
It's a huge tool. Like I met a guy, we went for coffee. I had a CFO job on. There's a guy that he'd been really high up in finance for Billabong for like 20 years. And for years, I've been trying to get in with him as a client. They were owned by the state, so for whatever reason, it didn't work. He was now interested in this role. I was recruited and we met for a coffee. And I remember shaking his hand going, mate, it's great to finally meet you. And the first thing he said was, yeah, but I feel like I know you because your face is on my LinkedIn and you're just talking all the time. And I was just like, that's why.
I think what that leans into as well is you only know 5% is probably a conservative figure of the impact you have. How many people, and I do it to other content creators or anyone else posting videos, I won't necessarily like it, I won't necessarily message them, but I'll see it and I'll go, fuck, good on you. Two, I'll go, that's good content. And three, I'll go, you obviously know your stuff.
Yeah.
But I'd never tell them because I'm not that close to them or whatever it is. So how many people are you impacting by doing this video? But just because you don't get 100 pat on the backs, you feel like it's not working. Just because you don't get 100 likes, you feel like no one's watching. They fucking always are.
Jack Henderson spoke about it really well, didn't he? He's just like, what people might think I look like a knob. Some people give him hate. He's got hundreds of thousands of followers, so people do batter him on his videos because he's quite outspoken. But when you think of property investment, he's the first person that comes to your mind every time. And I'd like to think that us doing these crazy videos where sometimes people probably saw him and gone, yeah, that's good. Some people saw him and went, oh, that one's not great. But if someone in their team left and they needed a new finance manager, the first person I'd like to think they think of would be me. And it's leading into what Sabri Subi teaches a lot. He used to be in a call center, just cold calling all day, 300 cold calls a day he used to get through. But he started thinking, well, why would I sit here all day and do 300 cold calls? He's like, why don't I sit there for half a day and do 150 cold calls and then spend half a day creating content, which is one to many. And those pieces of content will be seen by 300,000. He's like, is that not a more kind of clever way to work with the technology and the platforms we've got nowadays?
I think logically, like, it's a no-brainer, but it's letting yourself think it that far through without just stopping at the first hurdle of, I'm scared to go on camera.
Yeah.
And actually, I've got a stat for you.
Oh, you have not.
92%.
Let's have it.
92% of people don't achieve their goals due to the avoidance of the first initial short-term discomfort. 92% of people.
That's frightening, isn't it?
But at the same time, when you think you go, actually, yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense.
It does. But that's nearly all of the people. Because 100% is all of the people.
35,000 decisions a day, and most of them are driven by discomfort.
Yeah.
Incredible.
That's just the way your brain is wired. We've discussed that. Oh, go on, mate. You've got one more step.
Go with the hat trick.
Yeah, go on. Get the hat trick.
80% of entrepreneurs cite the fear of failure as their biggest barrier within business. They don't think it's going to work. Not even their products could be better. Not even, I don't know enough. It's actually the fear of just failing. They can have the best product, the best marketing, the best sales, but that voice at the back of their head is still going to go, oh, but what if?
Yeah.
But what if it doesn't work?
Let's unpack them then. Right, we're wrapping up topic 1, which what discomfort really means. And those stats you've given us there are actually quite concerning and alarming, because out of those 92% of people that don't achieve their goals due to avoidance of short-term discomfort, ironically, I'd say a lot of them are probably feeling a daily form of discomfort because they're sat in a job that they don't like, something they're not passionate about. They're tight on money because their salary is capped for whatever reason. So they're in discomfort anyway. Why is that stat so high?
Is it comfortable discomfort though?
That's good.
Hey, clip this one up. I'm going to riff. So
Okay.
it's kind of that.
This is good. I tell you what, you fucking wouldn't know we've had a break, would you?
No chance. It's kind of like better devil, you know, right?
Yeah.
They know the pain they're in and the projected pain of what they could have. You always think the worst case, right? You always think the decision is going to turn out to be the worst thing in the world, and all of the worst case scenarios are going to play out at the same time, and you're going to end up in a worse position than the one that you're already in. And you get used to your discomfort as well. You get used to feeling a little bit fat. You get used to feeling like, you can't really go too far in your career. You get used to putting up with that partner who you know is probably not the right person for you long term, but it's there, right? It is what it is. You're not too. It's not too uncomfortable to make a change.
Yeah, and it's hard. The hardest part is making the first change, and that even happens on micro level still now, because we got back from the Bucks a week and a half ago, whatever it is. For the first week I was back, we're normally pretty stern on our routine. We get up at 4, we hit the gym at 4:35. For the first week I was back, I was an absolute loser. I stayed in bed till 6:30 every day, just got out of bed, got ready, came to work. And it was not that I couldn't do the 4 a.m. wake-ups, it was just that first change. Because when I finally pushed myself on Sunday morning, I actually arranged a run with a friend, because then you've got the commitment of someone else. Got myself out of bed at that usual time, backed it up again yesterday, backed it up again today. It's not that hard, but the first thing was that initial change.
Bang on. I think that's a really good segue into topic 2, mate, which is training the muscle of discomfort. Before we went away, we were into it, right? It was the rhythm. Bang, fit, start, work, whatever, run, work, done. And then we have that 2-week break where we haven't got that kind of discipline. As I said, it's just get to bed at night, wake up in bed in the morning, the rest will work itself out.
Yeah.
And then getting back, it felt like the hardest thing in the world, because that muscle hadn't been trained of that yes or no decision. And I can see it so clearly now. I'm in bed, the alarm goes off. I might even get up and brush my teeth as I think I'm going to go to the gym. And I'm like, nah.
You would get out of bed, and my problem is I don't get out of bed. If I've got up and brushed my teeth, I'm awake at that point. I will go. But you've done the U-turn.
I've done it, mate. I've fully stood up there, brushed my teeth, washed my face. I think I've even put the clothes on once.
You are joking.
And then I'm like, fuck, you know what? I'm not doing this.
Do you get back into bed fully clothed?
Nah, I'd strip down again.
Jesus God.
Don't say it. But that's what I mean. It's the muscle, right? And even actually physically as well. I went to the gym this morning, fucking deadlifting. I was lifting like, fuck, this feels heavy. Thinking, it must be at some decent numbers here. Look at the plates. Well below. That would have felt so easy 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But it's just that constant repetition and training of the hard decisions, the muscle, the routine, whatever it is.
The easiest analogy to use, I know we were talking about the gym, but let's talk about discomfort and kind of training that muscle of discomfort. The easiest analogy to use is when you go to the gym, right? The guy that goes to the gym and does bicep curls every single day
Andy Hanna
has got massive biceps. And if he stops for whatever reason, the biceps will get weaker, they'll get smaller. But when he starts up again, he gets back to that original point that he stopped so much quicker. Once you've done the work consistently over a period of time, when you do slip out, it's so much easier to get back in and get to your original state. So if you can just make that change, like for, 66 days, I think takes to make a habit. If you can just commit to one thing of discomfort for 66 days, even if you slip out of it for a week or two after, you'll get back up to where you were at that 66th day way quicker than going and starting again. But really, it all stays anyway, doesn't it?
I think that's why 75 hard was and maybe is so popular. I think what they've worked out is if you can stick to something for that length of time, all your neurons in your brain, they're wired to continue that habit for the most part. Probably a bad example because I think that goes too far. It's probably a bit unmanageable long term. You 2 workouts a day and whatever else it is. But if you can do a form of habit for that period of time and it slots into your lifestyle, it's not too extreme, you kind of can't remember a time before you ever did that.
I think 75 hard's a great example because we want to talk about training that muscle, and you can do that 2 ways. You've got micro reps and macro reps. So the micro reps are the small things every single day, and you just might pick one. It might be, well, for us back at the start of Harwell, we did it for a week, but then it stuck. It was do 1 video a day. It was a small change leaning into discomfort that by the end of that first week felt a little bit more comfortable. The second week, a little bit more. Within a month, it was just kind of part of our daily routine. And then you've got the macro reps. The macro reps might be a 75 hard where you completely overhaul your lifestyle. It might be quitting a job and going and starting your own business. They're 2 very, very different changes. I think you need to do both, but I definitely think mastering the consistency of micro reps takes you along and builds that muscle up a lot more. So when you do have a macro decision to make, it does become a lot easier. Like I think back to when we started Harwell, we just knew we'd work harder than everyone else. We were like, through hard work, we know we can make this happen. But that came from 3 years at our previous employer of working really hard, being ex-pro footballers as well. We knew we could work really hard, be consistent, stick to a routine. All of those micro decisions that we didn't know at the time, or those micro reps, fueled that macro rep to go, fuck, let's make a big change.
100%. And that's just the start of the journey then as well. And then the macro reps or decisions that you're making, in the long run, they turn into micro because the goals just get bigger and the stakes get higher. And you get more comfortable making these big decisions and taking bigger bets on yourself because you know you've proved it to yourself before.
Yeah.
I love it. I love this stuff. And I feel like as Harwell's grown, we're still doing both every day. Yeah. The micro and the macro, right? Do we take the foot off the gas every little day and every morning? Do we go to the gym? Do we get in early? Do we tick off all of the stuff before the guys get in here? Do we spend the time, with Jess so we're not, potentially we're a bit lagging behind on our service to clients because we need to get Jess up and running? But no, that's going to benefit in the long run so we can give more time to the clients. All these little decisions, you've got to understand, do I choose the easy way or do I choose the right way?
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to think of a good example in our lives right now. So I think you had a big macro decision last week of leaning into discomfort. You were 3 days post Bucks and you took on a speaking gig. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, this was... Again, this is another good quote for you. It's a lot easier to connect the dots looking backwards, right? Now I can sit here and say it's brave and courageous. At the time, I was going, what the fuck have I done? So, start of July, got invited to speak on a 2032 Brisbane Olympics panel. Guys from all different kind of industries and expertise. My obviously take was recruitment and resourcing and the skill shortages to go and deliver the games. So the dates it was on the Thursday. We flew back in on the Sunday morning. I'd already kind of written off Monday, Tuesday to not speak to anyone, do anything, just lick my wounds for a little bit. Wednesday back in the office, and then Thursday rolls around. All right. Anyway, lads, I'm off to get the train. I'm off to Brisbane for the speaking event, and I've probably spoke to 5 people all week. Luckily, I had my friend ChatGPT doing role play with me
Chad.
On some of the questions that could have been asked. But that was a big fork in the road. I had the head noise all week of going, maybe you can just say you're sick. Maybe just say you're too under the pump at work. Just don't go. But then I'm like, well, I'm a bit woo-woo with the universe, as you know. So I've kind of put it out to the world that I want to do more speaking gigs. I want to get on more stages. Again, talking about that one-to-many type of engagement. And then this landed on my lap, right? So I said yes to it, even though I thought, fuck, I might regret this. But to then say no to it at the back end, I feel like I'm kind of just pissing off the universe, who then isn't going to give me that next opportunity, which potentially there might be. As I was walking out, Leonelli, who runs the event, she goes, obviously this is a big event, you're on the panel, we do a lot smaller ones a lot more frequently. Would you want to go and run that one yourself? So if I go and get that opportunity and go and smash that, who knows what the next one is after that. But I'd never, ever have the opportunity to get that far if I'd listened to that voice in the back of my head, which logically was so fair. Mate, you've had a big week. You've got a lot to do at work. You've got Jess coming in on Monday. You've got to prepare. Yeah. So it's not like the voice in the back of your head's unreasonable. The problem is it's way too reasonable, and you can kid yourself and believe the bullshit.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Two Blokes, One Business podcast.
Now, apart from being world-class podcasters, we also run a recruitment agency called Harwell.
If you're keen to learn a little bit more about what we do, then head over to our Instagram at Harwell Group and check us out.
Back to the app.
Let's talk about how it made you feel, because we've spoken of the process up to the level of discomfort, right? But you did the speaking gig. From what you've reported back to me, it was great. You had a good time. You enjoyed it. If it was anything like the Swish one, they would probably been dragging you off stage.
Pretty much.
But how did you feel after? Because you had to push through the barrier.
I absolutely frothed it. And it was almost like that feeling of euphoria when you score a goal or you save a pen. I was buzzing. Even I was knackered, obviously, because it was a late night and everything else, but that kind of came secondary. I was going, wow, I'm so proud of myself for getting there. I'm proud of the prep I did to go and deliver and feel like I did well on stage and get a few pats on the back. After which is nice. A lot of people waited around to come and say hello and speak about a few things. So a lot of conversations going on this week as well. All of those little bits and pieces you'd never get the chance to experience if you just don't say yes to the hard thing. And yeah, it's really lit the fire in the belly to do more and more. I think doing all these podcasts, doing a couple of the speaking things we've done, I think we typically get good feedback. I think we're quite engaging. I probably talk a bit too quick, but fuck, we can't be perfect.
Short on time, mate. That's why.
100% good things to do. So yeah, I was buzzing that I went there. I was happy with how it all played out. And it was the first time being in that kind of room. It was an engineers and project management event, which the PM side, definitely my world. Engineers, yes and no. But who knows? Maybe we start an engineering recruitment desk. Maybe that's the catalyst. You just don't know where those little decisions can kind of take you. I think on TikTok, actually, there's a big thing called the butterfly effect at the moment. So I'm quite into my TikTok. I'm actually not, but I'm trying to be.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, these people do videos. Isn't it crazy how the butterfly effect, well, fuck, I can't get the words right. But it's something along the lines of, booking that flight to Australia back in 10 years ago to now being sat here recording a podcast.
Yeah.
If I didn't get released by Cheltenham at 19 or leave Cheltenham at 19, would I be sat here doing this now? So it kind of comes back into that universe piece of, another quote just come to my head.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And this is a fan favorite. Life happens for you, not to you.
That's good.
So you've just got to believe that as long as your intention's right, you do things to the best of your ability. You try and provide value. You try and do the right thing by people. Whether things go your way or not, that's the universe working for you.
I think it's the knock-on effect of not just, so now the next speaking gig will feel a lot easier because you've lent into the discomfort. You've done one. But people thinking, okay, well, brilliant. I don't want to do speaking, or this one discomfort thing that I'm facing. I don't really want to do that long term, but it's the mindset that it changes your mindset. So yes, you did the speaking thing, but the next morning you'd have woke up with a pep in your step and there might have been a difficult phone call. You might have just had 10% more energy because you're still running off the adrenaline.
And you know what that actually was? Without
I've not set him up for this, by the way.
Without going into too much like confidential detail, but there was the call that Andy got about, we can't use your labour hire because Adams fell out with my owner, blah, blah, blah. If I potentially didn't have that good night on Thursday and didn't come into here feeling confident, feeling great, I probably wouldn't have called the owner and just gone, mate, what's the crack here? I've heard there's an issue. And then that's kind of got sorted out. So that's a dollar figure, a tangible value to the business because I made that difficult phone call that we now brought back in, rather than going, oh shit, that's a bit of a hard call. He obviously didn't like me. Maybe I shouldn't call him.
Fuck, it's so simple when you break it down. Like even like you go and do a hard gym session, because you've done that gym session, you naturally pick the healthy option for dinner. Whereas you don't do the gym session, you feel sorry for yourself, you go and get KFC. I know it sounds basic and maybe we drive this home so much, but it's because we've done it. It fucking works. And 2 years ago, we were just two numpties recruiting in a big global agency. And from doing those reps every single day, choosing the hard thing time and time again, this is the position it's put ourselves in. And we could switch off and start taking the easy choices like now, and within 6 months, this would all be over.
100%.
It would come crashing down. So we're not saying we've made it. We're not at the top of the mountain.
I was off it.
But where it's put our lives and our families' lives as a result of doing that, I just don't see why you wouldn't at least try.
And if you've got a good reason other than fear, I'd love to hear it. But it always comes back to fear.
Done. You got a quote on that or not?
No, I don't. I'll come up with one then.
What do we got next, mate? There's a bit of a segment. Oh, no, you're wrong, Harv. There is a quote. Hard choices, easy life. Easy choices, hard life.
This is perfect.
It's choosing your hard, isn't
100%.
it? Like going to the gym, eating healthy, being disciplined is hard. Being fat is also hard. Being unhealthy is really hard.
Yeah, and expensive, right? Like if you look at the cost of a gym membership and the cost of healthy food, what's the cost of going to the hospital because you've got, I don't know, fucking diabetes or whatever,
Yeah.
that problem there. You're going to spend the money somewhere. You either spend it intentionally and enjoy the choice you made, or you spend it because you've been forced to.
So simple.
Quote that up. For me though, reading that quote, one thing that kind of hits home there is hard choices, easy life. Awesome. Easy choices, hard life, but also a guilty life as well. What kills me the most is the guilt I get when I know I've taken the easy route out and I know I'm losing compared to what a more confident or fearless person or Adam would be doing. It's the guilt of the decision. And then I don't even end up enjoying the easy choice. Say that's staying in bed. I'm sat there going, you are actually a fucking loser. Like, what
and then you come to work and I call you a loser.
And then you're going to go and sit on a podcast and tell people not to take the easy choice. So the head noise, the guilt that goes through, I don't even get to enjoy the lazy, easy choice. I'll just torment myself. So I might as well just go and do the hard thing, be proud that I've chose that, get the endorphins if it is the gym from that, and then eat the good food and then go again the next day.
Yeah.
So it's a hard choice, easy life, or a shit choice, hard life, really.
Mate, I'm laughing because I actually, I said last week I was in a bit of a hole. Do you know what I did on my alarm? I called it.
Loser.
No, I called it practice what you preach.
Nice. That's good.
Because I thought after last week, and don't get me wrong, we've had a big few months and then a big holiday. So there is times you genuinely need to let your body recover. And I do feel better because of it. Mm-hmm. But I thought leading into this week, if I'm still being a loser, how can I come here and sit on this podcast and tell people to make the change if you're not practicing it yourself? Sometimes those little reminders are really, really powerful. And Alex Hormozy talks really well. And I thought of this just as you're saying how your battle is against yourself and the guilt. Alex Hormozy says the only person you need to worry about battling against is yourself. Because if you can battle against yourself every single day, week, month, year, and by the end of that time period, you are better than you beating previous Adam, it's a force to be reckoned with. Because if you're battling someone else and that person takes their foot off the gas or hits their peak, you can just stop because you're I've beat them.
Yeah,
if you're constantly always in a battle with Adam, there's only one, you're only going to go up.
I guess reflect on what you said there about rest. Something came to mind. Mel Taitimu's words in the back of our head from when she was on the podcast is the hard choice, easy life could be the hard choice is to not go to the gym. Do you know what I mean? If your body's giving you that, saying, hey, I need to rest, the hard choice at that point in time for that kind of person is to stay home, go for a beach walk, get the extra couple of hours sleeping, go to a therapy session, speak to a specialist. They're also hard choices. The easy choice, if we're talking about this kind of context, is to keep driving yourself to the bone because of some childhood trauma that you've got or something, which then affects your energy to your partner, to your kids, to your career. So it's not even just the hard thing being the thing that takes the most energy. Sometimes it's this thing that can actually preserve your energy, but mentally, again, you've probably got the guilt of not doing the work as well.
Fuck, the brain's a complex thing, isn't it?
Incredible. Which, to be fair, without sitting down and speaking to Mel, that, not opinion, but that kind of different way of thinking probably wouldn't be there either. But I think she really humbled us about burnout. Because I think we kind of, I don't say we glamorize it, because we definitely don't, and we've got a good balance to an extent. But I think she really kind of was like, okay, why? Well, why? What does that mean? And then we sat there going, fuck, you know what, you're so right.
Yeah, the one that hit home for me, she talks about every act in your day, it either stimulates you or oppresses you. Like that's your
sympathetic or parasympathetic.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Well done. Glad you were listening. But she was like, go through your day. And she's like, is it sympathetic? It brings you down. Para brings you up.
Oh, I've no idea.
Didn't listen that much. But say, okay, how many acts of your day are ones that are bringing you up in terms of like your stress hormones and your stress levels? And then how many acts in your day are relaxing those and releasing them? And there was one act in my day that relaxes and released that, and it was going to sleep at night.
Yeah.
And she was like, you are fucked.
Yeah. And then one thing she did say was 20 years ago, sleep was enough recovery for people. You could just have a big day, go to bed, wake up, and you're fully charged. But now with the level of always on, with your phones, your emails, social media, the body doesn't recover enough in those 8 hours of sleep to then recharge you fully for the next day. So you need to incorporate rest periods, periods to recharge in your day to give you that extra 10, 20% to then tack on to the 80% when you go to bed.
We've learned a lot, mate, haven't we?
It's incredible.
Well, we think we have. So people listening to this might think you two sound like absolute... Jess, do we sound like idiots? Not at all. Okay, cool.
Stay tuned, mate. Give it a couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah. You don't have to lie.
But if you're saying that, though, even now, if you if you asked the same question again and said, how much of your day, is sympathetic, parasympathetic, you'd have the fucking same answer.
No, I do a fair bit of breath work now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Morning, arvo, lunch?
Depends. If I go for a run, I have a little routine at the end of my run. I'll sit there on a bench, mute, like headphones out, just listen to the ocean, close my eyes, do the old Nan Baldwin, 5 in, 8 out.
Love it.
Or if I'm not doing that, sometimes I'll just go and find a dark room. I've even done it here sometimes in the pod room. 15 minutes on Spotify, Wim Hof, 3 rounds. That really, just that 15 minutes to yourself. Because as kids, having kids, you go home, it's just pure chaos. Just that little 15 minutes, that's 15 minutes more than what I was doing. That really helps. We've got a segment next.
What's on the segment?
So we're going to try and give an example of where perhaps one of our team members or a client or someone we know has leaned into the uncomfortable and it's really worked for them. That's part 1 of the segment.
Interested.
Part number 2 is we're both going to share one thing that we're both avoiding right now, because no one's ever a finished article. No one's ever perfect. And I think it's important for us to reflect as well, because we don't want people to just think we're preaching here. We're just sharing our learnings.
Love it. Team client story. Probably relevant. I'm probably taking your thunder here, but I went first, so I'll get to do it. Is the videos the guys do. Like, obviously, we talk about how we did it to start with, great, the impact it's had. Now we're so used to it, but it's our business.
Yeah.
So if we're not going to do it, no one else will. So now the guys are all on board. I think me and Jackie are in here today filming some stuff for construction recruitment. When she first started, she used to shit her bricks, right? Did not be wanting to do it. And now she's chomping at the bit. She's putting scripts together. She's ready to go. Jess, so next week she's going to be doing her Welcome to Harwell video.
She's excited for that.
She's not looking forward to it. But you know what? She'll lean into the discomfort. She'll smash it. And then the second one will be easier and the third one will be easier again.
Yeah.
So that's a really good moment where we can, I guess, guide our team through, because we've walked it. We've been shit scared. We did it anyway. We came out the other side.
Yeah.
So that's a really good one for the team.
Yeah, cool. I'll try and go different. It's same but different. This is about a client of ours. Now, this client are still kind of startup. They're in high growth startup phase. They've got people invested in the business and they weren't getting the growth that they wanted. I'm obviously not going to say the client name for obvious reasons, but early on they weren't getting the growth. They asked to sit down with us and said, boys, you've grown astronomically, like 100% year-on-year growth profit, whatever it was. How have you been doing it? And obviously one thing that we spoke heavily about is just the marketing, the branding, putting the word out there. So we sat down, we spoke about how we did it. Off the back of that, they made their entire team become extremely active on LinkedIn. They made them all do videos. It's kind of like a proud moment now, because when I scroll on LinkedIn, I always see one of their staff
100%.
Doing it. And I spoke to the CEO yesterday and they shared that this year they've had 20% quarter-on-quarter growth.
Wow.
And this quarter, they're actually on track for 30 to 35% growth. So if we're looking at that across the year, just from one simple change of going and doing that, leaning into the discomfort, because some of the people in this business are not salespeople. They're not out there. They're not leaders, but they've all done it and all mucked in, transform the business.
And you know what? Now they've come out the other side of it. If you said, do you enjoy it? They go, yes.
Oh, 100%.
It's amazing, eh?
Fucking hell. No
That's
worries.
Good. What are you avoiding? What's one thing that you're avoiding right now, Harv?
I am avoiding cold BD.
What does that mean?
So that is cold calling people that have never spoken to Harvey Rivers or heard of him. Well, they might have heard of him, but they've never spoken to him before. And you are interrupting their day, and you've got to try and win them over in probably the first 10 seconds. Now, we've been in a very lucky position where, because of all the work we've discussed that we've been doing and the network we've got, we have been getting our work through our current network, referrals, people coming to us, and it's been easy. We've been reactive, but it's been easy, right? They're people we know, it's comfortable. Now we are structuring the business, and we've brought in people like Rosie to take marketing off our desk. We've brought in Jess to take all of the awesome things she does off our desk. Now that opens up space and time. So we've got to get back on the tools. And it almost feels like I'm going back to day one in our last employer where you're shitting bricks, because cold BD is a muscle I've not used in a long time. So I'm going back to the start, and I've been avoiding it, but I'm going to do some tomorrow.
I love it.
What about you?
Probably in keeping with the whole episode, but to me, it's just a routine. I've been avoiding having the discipline. I took my first supplements this morning for the first time since I've been back, because I just could not be arsed. Today, I went to gym on Saturday and I went again today. Didn't go yesterday.
Why didn't you go yesterday?
Because I had a couple of wines on a Sunday night with Mads, and we're cooking a nice pasta dish together. Yeah. Which, again, if you're looking at the grand scheme of things, that night was so much fun. We had so many laughs. To miss one day of the gym, that's probably the hard decision, right? Probably tough in the example, but if I was in the normal swing of things and I'm doing 6 days a week, to miss one day and have a really awesome night with my fiance, that's a hard decision. Someone who wants to maintain consistency, it's the right decision for your relationship.
And consistency isn't 100%. 100% is not sustainable, because we're not robots. Like, it's all of these things we talk about, gym, non-alcohol, whatever it might be. If you can hit 80 to 90% all of the time, you'll be fine.
You're better off doing that over forever, hopefully, but over a year, than going 100% for 2 months.
I've done it, mate.
Going on a bender, and then you're back to square one.
I've done the crash 12-week shred in England before Magaluf, and I got absolutely fucking ripped. But you recoil.
Yeah.
And then you're fat again within a few months, because 12 weeks was too intense. It's not sustainable. You don't build habits that you can actually keep moving.
I love it. Can you finish off with a couple of quotes, Harves? You read them really well.
So we've got everything you want is on the other side of fear, which is quite a nice reminder here.
Yeah, bang on.
Yeah. The other one, the pain of discipline weighs ounces. The pain of regret weighs tons.
Jesus Christ, that's hit me in the bones. That's going on the ribs. That's getting tattooed.
Like you said, bones.
Right, that's a hell of a fucking quote. I like that one a lot.
What's the last one? You read this one, because I've got a special one from Insta to share before we wrap this episode up.
Comfort zones are where dreams go to die.
That's good.
That was delivered.
Yeah, that was delivered. Mate, I've got one actually I saw on Instagram the other day, and I thought, this is really impressive. I need to share it on the podcast. 1 second. I've got a lock on my Instagram.
Ah, you do, yeah.
Yeah.
So while you're doing that, I think we missed one here about the cost of avoidance, right? And this is the trick that I use to make myself do hard things when I don't want to do them, because a little voice in the back of my head. If someone else does this instead of me, I will be so pissed off. Right. So that speaking event, for example, let's say I pulled out of it and they asked a different recruiter, one of my competitors, to go and do it. I would have probably had a tear in my eye. I would have been so pissed off myself. Whether it's calling the client and getting the job on, if I don't do it, someone else is going to do it. And seeing that happen, I think it's that competitiveness that kills me. And that's more than enough fuel just to do it. That's all I need.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just thinking, there's obviously a new business that we're getting ready to launch. It's reasonably close. And it's something completely different for us. Although it's aligned to our sector and we're using our previous knowledge, the actual business in the sector is completely different, and we know absolutely naff all. Well, we know a bit more now than what we did. And we just kept saying to each other, we were like, fuck, if we don't do this and someone else does it and nails it and it changes their life, we would never forgive ourselves.
100%.
So we're like, we've just got to have a go. The mindset I have is like the real cost of avoidance. 100%, like if someone else does it, I'd be pissed off. I'm also kind of like, what's the worst that happens? That's what I always go to. And even with this new business, I'm like, mate, what is the worst that happens? I always tell myself, oh, what's the worst that happens? Oh, I look stupid. I look like an idiot. And I go, cool, might not do that again. Like that is the absolute worst. Unless, obviously, it's never a situation that's going to put you in danger. But the best that happens, it works. And you go, oh my God.
The steps I take if I think that way is it's just ego. Right? Like I think we're comfortable. Let's talk about this business. Right? We're comfortable with the financial risk of what we may lose if it absolutely goes tits up. That's fine. I'm comfortable with the time we'll invest.
Yeah.
That's fine. So what else is there? It's just people going, that was crap, you failed.
Yeah.
But who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
You know, so it's just all ego. And I think when you can sit with that, recognize it, and then the decision is, okay, so now I'm either going to do this business, okay, and it's going to go really well.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to do it and it's not going to go well. And then my ego is going to be hurt. Or I'm not going to do it at all and someone else potentially will. And they're going to go and achieve everything you thought you would. Right? But I'm definitely not doing it. I'm definitely not doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely not, right?
Oh, God.
This.
Oh, my God.
You know what I'm trying to say? What I'm trying to say is...
That is good.
I think I've run out of juice.
There was too many quotes in this podcast for him to get like at least one.
I think I pulled a hammy at the last minute. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is don't let the ego stop you from doing things because you'll never do anything else.
Yeah, I love it. Right. I found this.
I've done it. I bought you time to unlock your stupid fucking phone to finish this pod on a high.
Thanks, mate.
I've literally taken the shots from everyone, sacrificed myself.
You made yourself look like a complete tool. But do you know what? We've laughed it off and it's going to be all right.
Here we go again.
Right, anyway. So this is someone on Insta. Let me read it out. I had no idea where all this was heading. There was no grand vision, no perfect plan, and definitely no guarantee. Just a gut feeling that I was meant for more and the willingness to work for it. I kept showing up when it didn't make sense and kept plugging away when there was no proof it would pay off. I took risks that scared me and I backed myself when it would have been easier to play it safe. Every single time I got knocked back, but I found a way to keep moving forward even when I didn't know what I was moving towards. It's all about mindset and mentality. There were plenty of moments that shook my confidence and times I questioned everything, but I kept grafting because I believed that hard work means something. Looking back now, that was everything. I didn't need to know exactly how it would all unfold. I just had to trust that if I kept doing the work, the rest would find its way. If you know you'll show up and do the work, it always works out okay. Take the risk, make the plunge. Hard work will beat 95% of your competitors.
That's a belter. Mate, give me multiple choice. Give me multiple choice options.
No, I'll tell you who it is. It was me.
No, you didn't.
That was me.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Fucking fair play. If you had that in the multiple choice, I was not going to say that.
That's fucking good, isn't it?
That is really, really good.
That was dear 2020 Harvey.
Oh, you are right.
Because in 2020, just moved here, COVID hit, lost my job.
You could have bailed out so easily.
Brit took me in, quite literally. I was like not fucking paying any rent. I wasn't paying any food. I think at one point I got down to the last $10 in my bank account. And I was waiting on a payday because I'd worked like 5 hours trying to do takeaways at a restaurant in COVID. But I just knew fucking keep working hard. None of this was a dream. I didn't even do recruitment then.
Yeah, no idea, did you?
Nah. Could have bailed out.
There we have it. Harvey Rivers, quote that shit up.
Lean into the fucking uncomfortable.
See you next week.
See you next week.